Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Tonight we're going to have a special video where I'm going to attempt with the camera work to share with you my vintage gun oil collection of cans and bottles. So they're all right here in this curio cabinet. I know I can't even get the whole cabinet in the frame right now. There's a couple shelves that aren't on the screen. It's a few hundred items. I don't know, somewhere between 200-300 probably. I've been putting this collection together for the past several years. What I'm going to attempt to do here is I'm going to try and grab a few of the more interesting bottles and cans from the shelf, maybe bring them up to the camera, talk about them a little bit. And then once I do that, I'm going to attempt to grab that camera and bring it over here and get a closer look down inside the shelf, because I don't know, they're stacked probably 10-12 deep here on the bottom, and that's going to be difficult. I don't have the chance to pull them all out and show them to you, so let me pull a few out. So we'll start here at this top shelf. These items in this curio cabinet, many of these items are way over 100 years old. A lot of those are actually on this top shelf. So that top shelf is Winchester and primarily bottles up top. And some of these are, late 1800s. If I go all the way to the back without hopefully breaking them. So this is one of the oldest examples that I have. Hopefully you can get a good look at that. And I've got the box, although the box is a little bit rough, falling apart. But I think this is late 1800s with this cork, and it's a beautiful bottle. You can see the condition of the label is amazing. Okay, so that's super duper collectible. It's hard to come across those very often. Let me see if I can pull a few more of these out at a time. I love these. Let me see if I can turn a little more light on. Nope, that's about all the light I can get. You can see these small little, almost like coffin-shaped bottles. These are pretty cool. Winchester gun oil. These are also roughly 100 years old. I don't know the exact dates. There's not a ton of information out on here in these little bottles. You can try and research each one of them individually. Maybe that's something that would be a good idea. Maybe make some type of literature with some of the history of these bottles. Okay, I'll just show this one. I've got, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 of these. Pretty neat. And on the inside you can see the stamped utility oil on the inside of the bottle. These are also very old. They're making a lot of reproductions of these now. So if you go on eBay, you know, when I bought these years ago, it was before the big wave of reproductions. So you got to be real careful. If you see something like this, you think it's the real thing, and a lot of times they're imitation, but these are all real. Got different crystal cleaner bottles. These are kind of neat. Let me see if I can put this light over here. It might help a little bit there. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, you got this nice, still got some pretty nasty looking fluid. Who knows what that is after all this time. And the cool thing about these bottles are it's got an embossment. It says Winchester right here. You can feel it on the outside. And I've got a bunch of these bottles that don't have labels. You can see them right here on this second shelf. So this is what they look like when the label comes off. I mean, it's just a clear bottle. Winchester. Whenever I come across these, I just can't help myself. Got to pick them up. All right, then the second shelf, we get into Winchester cans. Here in the back, kind of a unique item. I've got 3 of them, but Winchester used to have a talc powder tin And maybe I got some better light on it there. You can see, look at that. Look at the artwork on that thing. Two-sided. Pretty neat. It's got talc powder in it. Pretty cool. I've got 3 of them. Probably the most collectible can. This is your old Winchester General Utility Oil. This is the famous gray oil can. Maybe see it like that. I'm trying to get this light on there. Okay. These are very collectible. I mean, if you get one of these mint, they're, I don't know, I don't like talking about prices, but they're pretty high. So that's the best condition one I have. I have another one here. It's pretty rough looking, but still a cool can. Then you'll see these quite a bit. This is the green. It's by no means in mint condition. I think these things are somewhere around 1930s. These oil cans. You can see. Yeah. This red oil can here for Winchester, it's got the big W. This thing's super collectible. These are hard to find. It's much easier to find the green or even the gray can than it is this one here with this large W on the top. So this one here is not in mint condition. A lot of these cans aren't in mint condition, but to be honest with you, I think that's what's cool about them when they got a little bit of rust and the paint's chipped off. I mean, it adds character. So that's a rare one, as opposed to, you know, the red with the banner going through the Winchester. Okay, so these are much more common here. You can find these all over eBay. I believe the majority of them are going to be authentic, but you got to be careful. What else? Okay, and then here's the third style. You can see the banner's yellow. This one's mint can. This is pretty nice looking little can there, Winchester. Okay, good shape, nice lead top. Not going to pull them all out, just pulling a few out. These things are pretty cool here, man. It's they used to make these old school marbles for Winchester and Colt. And they're not so easy to come by, so I try and snatch them up too. So, okay, here on this third shelf, this is going to be Remington for all you Remington collectors. Almost a little bit nervous to pull this one out from the back, but I'll give it a shot. So I believe this is the oldest Remington oil bottle. I've only ever seen, I think, maybe 2 of them. Obviously one, but I don't know. These are really, you can find photos and find some information, but this thing is, and it is mint condition. It's a beaut. Okay, so that's Remington. That'd have to be my nicest piece as far as Remington goes. And then I've got about, looks like 9 of these. So these are over 100 years old. These are right at the around 1900. These bottles, maybe even a little bit before that, with this blue glass. This is the only one that I have that actually has the label on it and the cork top with the wire that you can stick your finger in there and pull it out. So that's by far the most mint one that I have. The other 8, I just have the bottle, which is a super cool bottle. So it's got a lot of embossments with Remington, and you're not going to be able to pick up the writing. Well, you might be able to see it there with the glare. I'll try and put the glare. You can see the embossments here for Remington. Just a gorgeous bottle. Then we get into some of the Remington cans. Guess this would be the most collectible Remington powder solvent, and this thing is mint. So it's a very nice can. Okay. If you can see that, hopefully. And then the back of it. Yeah. Gorgeous lead top, mint condition. Just a beautiful can. And I've got 2 of these. That's the next version of it that came out. See if I can get my fingers out of the way here. Okay, you can see that. Again, I don't know the exact dates, but I think most of these cans are 1930s, 40s, maybe 50s. All right, then you've got this style with the yellow and the black where you see the Remington and oil. I'll show you a different variation here in a second, but hopefully you can see that. Yeah. Try and hurry up, but this video is going to be too long. And then here's I think actually a little older. It's got just the rim oil at the top. Okay. I believe this one's 1930s style. Okay, tall green one. Okay, so that's 2 shelves of Winchester and 1 shelf of Remington, and then I get into 4 different shelves of, you know, some really pretty cool cans and bottles. I'll try and pull a couple of them out for you. Here's a rare one here. So this is your Abercrombie and Fitch. Hopefully you can see that. Anything Abercrombie and Fitch oil related is going to be super rare and collectible and expensive. This one's in pretty good shape. Got some Savage cans in here. Savage is obviously super collectible. It's a Savage, very popular Savage collectible can. Yeah, what's this one? Vantrol products. I've got a couple of these. Just for time's sake, I won't pull them out, but there's a couple variations of this. This is desirable old gun oil can. What else here? We got, I'll pull a couple more out. You got Bardahl. Trying to hit the light just right so you guys can see it. What else here? We've got Revelation. I've got Revelation. I've got a bunch of different iterations of Revelation. Try and speed up here a little bit. There's several different styles of this. You can see them through here. I'll pick up the camera and maybe you can just take a look here in a minute to speed it up. Oh, what else of note? There's just so much cool stuff in here, right? So you've got the Gun Care. It's a classic old gun oil can. Pretty cool. Some of the artwork on the front with the guy shooting pheasant. Got a couple of those. Marbles. I've got 3-4 different styles of marbles can. Okay, pretty good condition here. I'm just picking out some random cans here. You know, you got your old Wards, Montgomery Wards, Western Field. I have several different style of those cans. Nice looking can. What's this one? Yeah, here's a Bardahl bottle. It's kind of a rare one. Haven't seen too many of these. You can find one every once in a while, but not very often. Got Stag. These are collectible. People love these cans. I think I've got 2 or 3 different versions of them. Really collectible. This is not easy to do. All right, Gun Slick and okay, Fiendoil. I mean, this is a really collectible gun oil can. I've got a bunch of different variations of the Fiendoil. So you can see that there. These are really collectible, and the harder to find the blue version. Little smaller can. Hopefully this is interesting to you hunters out there that love this kind of stuff, I hope. Here's a Fiendoil small bottle. Okay. Got the box. Original box. Oh. Yeah, this is pretty neat here. So this is a Young's 303 cleaner. Okay. Proprietary product of Parker Hale, made in England. So I've got 2 of these. And these are super cool, right? Those are some cool cans. Got 2 of them. Somebody's Stoger Gunsmith Bluer. Pretty neat. It's like a cologne bottle. Oh my. Sea Lube for guns and tackle. That's a cool can right here. Yeah. Got the chain on the top. Pretty neat. Got a couple new old stock NACO gun oil and gun solvent. I got this pair. They were new old stock. Woo! How cool are they? Let's see if I can turn them around. Pretty neat. That old Sarge. That's one that's pretty, not too uncommon. You can find these little guys here. Pretty cool. All right. This video is going to be a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I'm sorry. But hopefully you enjoy me sharing these with you. So let me pull out just a few random ones and then I'll just pick up the camera. Okay, so you got the Bardahl. There's a few different versions of this one. These are pretty collectible as well. This one's in mint condition. It's a beautiful can. I'll set it right there. And you've got sheath polarized. And you got a hunter and a fisherman on the cover. Or on the front. Nice can. There's so many back here. Got bright bore. So, you know, I have several different style bright bore cans. Not sure if this is making the best video, but I don't know much better way to do it and give you guys a close-up. These are cool right here. A couple of my favorite cans. I bought a whole box of these. There's a whole case of them that were New old stock. Look at these outers. Are they gorgeous? Whew. Man. You got the tall one and the wide can. Both of them in mint condition. Just beautiful. Beautiful cans. We got a couple oddball cleanse oil. You'll find these once in a while, but tough to find one this nice. This is a beautiful gun oil bottle. And then this is a neat one too, this fulcrum. Odd shaped bottle. Pretty neat. All right, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and pick that camera up without making you all too dizzy. And see if I can't get a good shot inside the cabinet here. Let's give it a shot here. All right, so we'll go into this top shelf and hopefully you can get a peek at some of these. Those are all different Winchester gun oil bottles. We'll come down here to the second shelf, and there's a few Winchester bottles here as well, you can see just in the back. There's some cans. All right. Down to that Remington shelf. See if I can get a close up here. Then we start getting down into the more crowded shelves here. I only pulled a few out here and there. I'll try and get you a peek at as many as I can. All right, shelf number 4. All right, shelf number 5. It's getting more difficult here to get good lighting back in there. We'll have to see how this video turns out. And then way down here on the bottom, you can still see there's a lot of hops. So I've got my hops number 9 collection, which is, there's quite a few down in there. And all those boxes have the bottles inside of them. And then you can see a lot of Sears bottles with the black and the red. More hops over here on the left, goes all the way to the back. All right. Let's see if I can get the camera back to where it needs to be. All right. All right, everybody. Well, that probably wasn't too easy to watch, but I know there's a lot of people out there that collect gun oil cans and bottles, so hopefully some of you see this video and it was worth putting up with the, you know, seeing the back of my head and the shaky camera. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me go ahead and end this video like I do with every video. I got a piece of scripture picked out tonight. think it's a good one. All right, we're going to go to, and this is talking about no time like the present, right? Time passes all of us by. We think we have more time than we actually have. We never know when we're going to run out of time. So I want you to think about that while you're listening to this scripture. So I'm at Isaiah 55, 6 and 7. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. That's a very, very important message to you guys. You know, for those of you who are saved, then you know what I'm talking about, but for those of you that aren't, you need to think about that piece of scripture right there, and I'd love for you to take a look at it, because it's telling you there's a period of grace that's available. It's available to all of us, but you only have a limited amount of time, and you never know when that time's going to run out. So why gamble with it, thinking you have more time? You need to take care of your business today. So I hope that scripture moves you if you're not saved, and I pray it does. So, okay, thanks for watching this video, and God bless all of you, and I'll see you next time.